those situations when we react on a reality that we don't want to keep on attract. Those days where we're just emotionally having these lash outs or being very, very mad at a situation. Us reacting to it and feeding our vibration and our energy into that situation is actually what keep on repeating itself, or what makes us be in that situation. And probably we also know that. We know that on an emotional level, it doesn't feel great to us. And we know that, we keep on repeating the same things over and over when we are getting frustrated or when we are getting annoyed. But we continue to do it anyways. So today we're going to talk about and practice to not react on the situation that we don't want to keep on attracting. So let's say that you're applying for a job, you feel more and more rejected for each and every application that you send out. This is you reacting to a reality that you don't want to keep attract into your life, right? So there are two things that we have to start with doing here, and to stop actually react on this environment. The first one is to stop minimizing ourselves. So you might notice in these situations that in one way or another minimizing yourself. You might begin to ask yourself what you did wrong, what you can do better, why this wasn't anything for you. Maybe you were not good enough, or maybe you didn't have the requirements that was needed. If you're dating someone, that's usually the same. Or when you go on dates and you feel like, oh, this wasn't the person. The same happens here as well. We react on this situation and we do feel a certain type of, we're just minimizing ourselves in some certain type of way. Is there not a person for me out there? In different type of things, we get these thoughts of minimizing ourselves. So this is the thing that we have to stop doing, because every time we do that, we go out to the situation or to the next time a similar thing happens again with less confidence and less empowerment. We feel disempowered, our inner peace get disturbed, and we are not really vibrationally there for the next time we're doing something, right? So this goes around in a repeated loop, as you see, right? The other thing we have to stop do to keep on attracting the reality that we do not want is also to, check in with ourselves emotionally. We can't react so strongly on these situations that we don't want into our lives, because as I said in the beginning, then we feed into that energy. You getting frustrated, you getting moody, you getting sad. It is okay to feel all those feelings. But if you can practice, catch yourself earlier and maybe don't go so deep in those feelings, or in the end, maybe you don't actually need to lash out every single time. Sometimes it's just like an emotional wave coming through. All our emotions are not those kind of emotions that we really have to release, right? So here we got to learn and be very emotionally intelligent and feel when there is emotion that we really need to release and look at and be with, that we kind of have repressed or in one way or another built up. But going further, we also have to learn to react to it differently. We have to learn how to respond in the way that we want to respond towards a certain type of situation. We don't actually have to get moody. We can get curious. We don't actually have to get frustrated. We can get inspired, right? We can find other type of emotions to play around with in those situations. Interesting. I didn't get that job. What is this showing me? Am I applying for jobs that I'm actually not supposed to be at? Is there somewhere where I feel energetically I'm not standing behind this situation, right? Oh, wow. This was not the person for me. Great. I'm so inspired to meet the one. Then I'm one step further to meet the one for me, right? So finding ways how we can exchange these emotions with responding to the situation in another way, so that we create this loop of excitement instead of the loop of discontentment, frustration, right? Because then we continue to be in that vibe. And as I said, we go every single time we are facing a similar situation, we go deeper into that rabbit hole almost, right? But if we're instead choose the emotions that we want to respond to, we go deeper into, resolving and having kind of that reality that we do want attract into our lives, right? Because if we want love, then we have to be love, right? So if I'm loving this situation every single time, then I'm just creating this bubble of love more and more and more and more, so that that certain type of reality can respond to it and resonate. What I think is so interesting is that you can have the same reality, the same thing is happening, but the experience of it can be really, really different, and that can also create another type of reality, right? So just to make it simple for yourself, like there are a bunch of different realities, but let's say that you have these two realities. So there is one reality, like one thing that is happening, right? And then you can either have this experience of it is a struggle. Oh, why did this happen now again? Like I never seem to find the person that I want to meet, or I never seem to find, all of those thoughts, right? You have that type of experience. Or you can also, the same reality, the same things you see in front of you, the same thing is happening, but instead you choose to experience differently. Oh, this is interesting. Wow, I'm so excited. Yes, give me more, give me more, give me more, right? Give me more of people. Great. I'm meeting so many people right now. This is awesome, because in order for me to meet a tangible person, I need people. I need to meet people, and I'm meeting a lot of people right now. Wow, this is amazing. Let's do this, right? It is the same reality, it is the same thing that is happening, though it's actually the different reality as well, right? Because you experience it differently. So this is what we should stop doing. Stop minimizing ourselves and stop reacting moody, frustrated, all those energies, feelings into the situation. What we want to begin with instead is to look at three things. And here it can be a little bit different from situation to situation. That's why our intuition is our guide and shows us like what do we need in this particular situation. But it can be that you, for instance, feel that you're getting rejected for something, feel that something doesn't go in your way, you maybe feel that you're failing over and over. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to look at, how can I stand behind this situation a little bit more? There is something maybe energetically where I'm not at in resonance with this situation, right? So how can I stand behind it a little bit more? Is there anything in my energy that I'm not like give out to the situation, right? Maybe I feel very disempowered and then I do not show up so confident in this job interview, for instance. What is it that I need to give myself? What is it that I need to give to the situation so that I feel that I can stand behind it a little bit more, so that I can be empowering myself, so I can feel that I'm more confident, and then I give away that confidence as well. Sometimes there are these different type of tweaks, like, no, I'm just don't doing this routine in this way that I'm supposed to. Actually, I'm doing it with force, so that's why I'm not really getting the results that I want, because it doesn't feel great for me. Okay, well, so how I can stand behind it a little bit better is that I actually are going to do it when it feels good to me. Okay, how can I make this practice a little bit easier, so it feels easier for me to begin, so it feels easier for me to complete whatever it is, right? You see what I'm doing? Like here I'm looking at the pieces where, okay, where can I stand behind this particular situation a little bit more? The second that's happening sometimes is this communication of redirection. Sometimes it's actually not the way that we're supposed to do it, or that way we're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? So as I said a little bit with putting force into a situation, maybe you have to understand that, okay, you're not actually supposed to do it with force. So it will not work until you actually change how you do it. And that's the kind of blessing of redirection. But it can also be that, as I said, with the applications, right? Okay, this is actually not the kind of jobs where you would be the most satisfied in. So it's a blessing of you seeing that, okay, this is actually something where I need to redirect. I'm not really in tune with myself now. I'm not really in tune with my authenticity. Do I really want to go down this route, right? So seeing it as a redirection to something, seeing it as something needs to be different in this situation. and then begin with the new normal reactions, so to say, like the new normal, how you respond to these situations. So when they appear, the situations that you feel so familiar with, that you feel that this is exactly the reality I don't want, and it continue to come. Why does this happen again, right? I see these patterns, I understand these patterns. When you face those situations, you respond to it with maybe being carefree. Maybe that's the energy that is needed in that situation, or with inspiration, or with playfulness, right? This was fun. Let's do it again, right? Finding different ways how it works for you. You have to tap into your vibration and your situation, what feels the easiest for you. So in some situations, it might feel the most easy to just be a little bit relaxed, a little bit chill, like, yeah. And in some other situations, that doesn't feel authentic at all. So remember for today, don't take it in so much. The situations that you're done with, why should you even feed into that energy? Because you're done with those. So show your reality, show the external world that you are done with it. If you're not done to it, then you give in to the drama. You actually do. But embrace instead how you want to respond to it differently and how you want to feel differently moving further, right? If this was helpful, let me know, and those others watching, what you are going through right now. What are your situation? How does that look like? And how are you going to respond to it differently?